Hello, Recon87 here, and welcome back to Combat Mission Battle for Normandy. We rejoin the Argyll and Southern Highlanders as they are somewhat being overrun by the 10th SS Division. So first off, apologies in the slight delay in getting this video out. I did have a minor family emergency which took me out of town for a few days. All worked out in the end, but did somewhat interrupt the recording schedule. And speaking of which, I'm actually about to go away on holiday for a week, so the schedule over the next week or so might be a little wonky. I'll try and get some stuff recorded ahead of time, but no promises, so we'll have to see how that goes. Anyway, back to the battle. So we had originally set up this fairly high defensive line, and as you can see, it is being completely overrun. We've lost essentially the entire troops we had. The edge of this defensive section completely overrun. The enemy has 4 panzers that we know about, and we have lost both our AT guns, and our only AT assets on the map at the minute are a Piat with 3 rounds here, 1 Piat with 5 rounds there, and 1 Piat with 5 rounds there. I believe that's it, yes. So that's not a lot. At the end of the last episode, we had a really strong push from the Germans on this flank. Our team had a pop at the panzer and missed. And this is the first issue we're really going to have to deal with. So if you look where they are, they can't see the panzer, and there's a weird, somewhat strange interaction with this hedgerow. And maybe I just need to get them to try and move. No, I'm not going to do that. And you can see from their target that they had a line of sight. In fact, I don't even have that anymore. Maybe they moved. But yeah, they can't see anything. Can't see anything at all, apart from it's really up close. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with why up against the hedgerow we don't have some line of sight. So I've had to take a fairly drastic action, and I'm getting them to leg it. So there's a gap just here, and I'm getting to get through that as quickly as they can, and then we're going to try and come around and flank behind the panzer and deal with it that way. I'm expecting him to roll up and park himself just in this gap, which is going to be bad news for this brain carrier for a start, and potentially some of these guys. If we do not hold the Germans in any kind of meaningful fashion here, then our entire flank of this position is now exposed, and we are in a world of hurt. So, other things I've done is I've decided to take one of the sections that are sitting in our reserve platoon, the 14th here, and I'm moving them into position along this hedgerow to help support and potentially hold a new defensive line if we do get overrun here. The other thing I'm going to do is with this Piat to get into position, he has to kind of pop in along this hedgerow where we are exposed somewhat to the Germans over here. So I'm going to use my kind of spare carrier to come around and push into this field and take a bit more forward position, just to make sure there's no kind of German fire into this guy's back as he tries to deal with the panzer. I'm a little wary about sight lines over these hedgerows and whether one of these panzers is going to get a spot on that bren and do horrible things to it, but we'll have to wait and see how it goes. Our real hope at the minute still relies on artillery, really kind of inflict enough casualty to stop them. That said, what missions we've got are... well, actually, no, wait, this one's spotting, albeit it's just a 3-inch mortar run. We've got our actual forward observer still calling out his howitzer mission, and he's the only one that has access to these mortars, which makes me really nervous that he's going to die before we can use them. Meanwhile, we've got a big call down for the priests, which is still 6 minutes away, and potentially might be too far back by that stage, but we'll hold it where it is at the minute. Yeah, and that's kind of it. We do have some other reinforcements turning up. We don't know exactly when, but we'll have to wait and see what arrives. So, without further ado, let's unpause things, and we'll see where we can get to in the first minute. Yeah, I'm expecting not particularly good places, but we'll see what happens. Let's start on the right flank. So we should get good kills on infantry there in the open. Okay. Tank took care of the Bren, not surprising. Important is going to be, yes, those guys made it out. That's fantastic. Well, one of them made it out. Where's the other one? There's the other one. Good. Okay, this is pretty invaluable, so not seeing any fire come in from this side. Sorry, I actually moved around it slightly. Which is good to see. He stopped a little bit short, but that's fine. If the guys can get into position without being seen, it's going to be a good outcome for them. That said, there's still a lot of infantry here we have to deal with. You can see there from the centre attack, the infantry is running away, which is excellent. And we'll check out what the casualties are like. Our infantry is knackered. As soon as they get to the hedgerow, they're just running for it. Oh, and some good work here as well, actually. Alright, all hope may not be lost. Right. Actually, you guys would be better slightly further up, so you're not shooting the front armour. Oh. And so that wouldn't happen. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Okay. Rounds to continue to fall. I'm glad we pushed this infantry attack back. But these guys are just... They're broken, they're scared. Everyone is now just absolutely running from... I don't know if it's a sight of a tank or what it is. Now you push back a little bit there. See if we can't move you guys over this way to support. You are so woefully exposed it scares me. And looks like the tank had a pop at our Vickers and took it out of action. Okay. We do have a Bren with a machine gun here, so I want him to come and cover essentially just this road in case they do try and push down that infantry. Meanwhile, we're getting lots of spots over there, but nothing too untoward, and we're going to drop some mortars on them. That's fine. Alright, I think we just kind of we keep going. I need to say what I want to do with these guys because they are very exposed, but there's not a lot I can do about that. There's an annoying amount of Germans in here as well, which are now starting to kind of flank our position. I think I want to pull back with him. It's just a question of whether I can or not. The safest way to do so might be trying to pull him out into this alleyway. If there's a gap there. Okay, that's what we're going to go for. Get yourself back here, please. And then we'll decide what we want to do with you. That's a bad loss. I'd thought the tank would come forward further. But knowing what I know now, then it would make more sense to push them up further. And perhaps I should have done it anyway, because we still would have a good angle on the rear armour. Okay. Let's just crack on with the next minute, see how we get on. We have at least repelled one attack, or two attacks, I should say, one on each side. But our troops are now pretty thin along here. And we have got a formation built up there. It's good putting our 2-inch mortars out just to hopefully cause some casualties.
Hello, round complete. End of mission out.
Okay, that's the howitzer finished. Oh, and that's the tank dealing with the rest of that Vickers team. Meanwhile, where are you? Yeah, unfortunately you need to go and do some medicing, but I think we're going to maybe pull that other team round and we'll get them to deal with it. They have pushed right up. Yeah, this whole field position is going to have to be abandoned. Maybe kind of fall back. Our each units are a little bit of peril right now, to be perfectly honest. It's turning into a full-scale rout. Right. First off, you make your way along this track. And I need you to come to about here, I think. Yes, get in behind them. Good, I should give you time to spot and fire. Meanwhile, we need to start trying to get ourselves out of this field without too much loss. frankly, I think it's going to be pretty difficult. So what have we got? So you guys... I've got a brain gun. You're not doing anything. You also have a brain gun. Okay. Perhaps we want to use you in this field to help out. You have run away for some reason. I very much want you over in this direction, spotting for tanks coming down the road. You're supposed to be calling in a fire mission and have run away. See if we can't get you back into position for that. Might get you just to start. Just drop your bombs around there. Catch the guys running across the field. Although they might be better. You might be better off at a slightly more oblique angle, somewhere down here. I'll just do that. They have broken in our running. They have broken in our running. We're starting to bring up some of our support over here. Okay. You guys are not going to live for much longer, I'm afraid. Chaps are holding the ground there. I'm going to pull out this Bren section or detachment as well. Bring you over to say this position. And we're going to have to try and hold a new defensive line along here, but that's a thin line. I'm also probably going to have to pull guys out of this house eventually. We'll see what we can do now, for just now. You also want to be moving over to here, so you can again provide some support in this area. Alright, and so you have now finished one mission. Chances of you being alive for 12 minutes? I am not convinced. Let's do that. Probably, I think they'll be where they'll be. Just do 4. Just do. In fact, you know what? And I've never really used this before. We're gonna go something a bit drastic. See, I would like you to drop rounds in. Let's move it over slightly. This kind of area. No, over slightly more. Yeah, it looks quite good. I want it slightly further from whatever direction that is, south. Maybe about there. Okay. We're going to do that. Everything you've got, and we're going to do it on emergency. And just drop everything immediately. Confirm. Which means they don't do as many spotting rounds, chance of it being inaccurate, but I just need to drop a whole load of ordnance on there. Oh boy, hello. Oh, what I wouldn't give for a Piet. Yeah, you guys are in a bad place. Okay. That's fine as long as he stays there long enough for my priests to get involved, but what stage are they at? 4 minutes away. Okay, still got 41 minutes to go. We shall see if we can't claw some kind of, even some kind of draw out of this. I think would be good going. Let's kind of push on. Our bed is somewhat made right now. Oh, that's our mortar round over here, I think, yeah. We just wanted to hold these guys up from flanking us. Problem with all these troops now is they are not going to take much before they just break and run. And there's a tank just demolishing these guys at close range. But we should be able to, if we, as long as this Piat team doesn't come a cropper, are they? We should be able to take out this one tank, and then that'll allow him to recover the Piat, and we'll have at least 2 Piat teams up and going. Still inflicting casualties on these Germans. Look at they are taking a lot of losses, which is good. But so are we. Okay, that was a fairly quiet minute, to be honest. We do have another section here which we may have to call upon. What have we got? You, well, you can certainly get to work. You're going to start shooting at that, my boy. Anyone else? Anyone else get some work done? Not really. I mean, you're in a great position. I really hope you're getting some casualties. Causing some casualties. Well, God knows we're getting them. Alright, I think I'm just going to hold it there. Sightlines in this field are probably going to be a bit iffy because of all the little bushes and stuff, but that's maybe not the end of the world. Alright, let's just push on. I would love to... of course I'd love to flank them, but that's just dreaming at the minute. But right now I would settle on stemming the tide. Yeah, our truck's in a bad position. Well, there's a big chunk of ammo, but that's about it. Oh, and this Panzer's pushing up, which would have been a lovely time to have someone here. Although, to be fair, they've cleared out with infantry first, so they're being quite sensible with that. Oh, hello. Who have we spotted? That's actually quite a good place for our, what we were aiming with our mortars. So an MG42 in there and some infantry. Okay, I'll see what we can do about that afterwards. So this is going to be a pretty big test, whether we can actually take on these panzers. Yeah, our infantry is just getting chewed up at the minute. Okay, it's a good start. Where are you off to? Oh, you're gonna leave me, make me work for it. So our retreating forces are getting kind of chewed to pieces. What we could do is get someone like you, maybe to come take your shot. What kind of ranges are we looking at? It's good range. In the armor and these things is pretty good. So hitting it in the front may not give us the desired response, to be perfectly honest. I think we're going to come give it a go. We'll at least take one shot. If that doesn't work, then maybe we'll pull you back out again. Although maybe not. Where are they going with this Panzer? Oh, so they're just going to drive through the wall, aren't they? Maybe I don't want you to do that. Maybe in fact I'm going to leave you exactly where you are to do the job that we wanted you to do in terms of take pot shots at armor when it turns up. Okay. Guys continue to hold there. You're running away madly, which is fine. I would like you guys to come and try and hold a position here. If you could manage that, please. As we get slowly condensed. Oh, we've lost sight of these Germans now. That's okay, we're starting to drop mortars and things on them, so I won't worry about that too much. Right. The other thing we might need to consider is altering your mission. 2 minutes away, I can only get ceasefire. I want to bring it further down this road, but I can't. Overestimated how much we could hold. Okay, let's just crack on. Let's see if we can at least get one Panzer knocked out here. Oh, there you go. Come on, lads. Where you going, man? There we go. You can see it. You've got your Piat. Beautiful. Ish. Lower left hull penetration is nice. Grab another one before he runs away. Really, two Piats at... Go on. Nice. One dead Panzer IV. Okay. So, 1 down, 3 to go. Oh, okay, that was nice though. That was nice. And actually, we have ended up holding this position, although this front has collapsed, so... Held one, lost one. Man, the Germans are pushing forward hard here. So I'm hoping their tank pops in here, although... Looks like it's going to take a couple of Piat rounds to get the job done. Which is far from ideal. Okay, things we're going to do. Let's have a quick check. Make sure no one else is injured. How much ammo have you got? Lots. I might start you to just start spraying the woods. Ooh, and the of reinforcements is very welcome. Where is... Hang on. You seem to be missing a Bren. Ah. Well, that's unfortunate. Luckily, we just got some reinforcements who do have Brens. Oh, quite a lot of reinforcements actually. And some more Piats. Good, because you guys are sorely needed. Okay, have a quick look at our objectives. So, they're in the gatehouse. And I don't necessarily rate my chances of evicting them from here. Oh, we got another forward observer. He would have been able to call down these rounds. You might still be able to. They might cancel the mission because my spotter is dead. Okay, so yeah, objective keeping out the gatehouse. That has failed. It's now going to be how we can withdraw and keep them off the bridge. So where is... definitely tempting to push a chunk of these guys through the woods. See if we can't get in from behind a little bit. Might have to go away and put a little bit of thought into how I want to deploy these guys. I mean, certainly one of the platoons is just going to become a new defensive line. But then the question, as it's ever going to be, is, excuse me, how do we take care of the tanks? When do we take care of the tanks? But at least we've got some more Piats to play with. And we're one tank down, let us not forget. Okay, alright, what we'll do is I'm going to put in a quick break to have a little bit of think about this. I'll come back and I'll let you know what my plan is for these reinforcements. Alright, so I've not got a concrete plan, but I've got a rough idea of how I'm going to use them. Alright, starting with these guys, so I'm going to break off one section, actually the platoon HQ and the mortar team, their attachment I should say, get them holding this position, which we did have the Vickers on originally, again just to prevent this kind of infantry pushing around. The other infantry and Bren and Piat attachment, I'm just going to start heading down this road. I still feel pretty good about being in control of this road and not getting kind of any enemy fire into it. So I feel okay about pushing my troops down there. Similar with these guys, I'm grabbing one section and the Piat and heading them off through the woods, potentially to get around behind this tank, or what? I mean, we could do some wide flanking, but I'm not sure. That we may change our plans on that. But initially, I'm going to send them off in this direction just to have it as a bit of an option depending on what we develop. The rest of the other two sections and actually, I'm giving the Bren detachment any orders. We're going to head down this road and they're going to start our new defensive line, which is going to be essentially around this house. because this wall gives a nice little barrier until they knock it down with the Panzer. And then it's going to be essentially kind of along this hedgerow, which we're then going to try and hold as the next line. So we can kind of give up this field to a certain extent, and then we're going to try and hold this position. I mean, for this Panzer, if he wants to keep advancing, his path is really through this field and out this gate. If he wants to keep pushing through, sort of just sit there and cause me a lot of problems. It'll be interesting to see what they do with this chap. But yeah, I think we're going to have to give up on the gatehouse objective and admit defeat on that one. I'm just going to stick you in this building, please. Yes, so not in a great shape. Have got reinforcements, which is good. We'll have to see if we can get in position before we are overrun. And I'm also going to try and shuffle this when it starts firing slightly further south. Well, it's probably not too bad at the minute. They probably still have a lot of troops in this area, but certainly one of their tanks is out and about. Okay, let's push on. We'll maybe get few through a couple more minutes. Got some first spots there. We'll go have a look in a minute. So this side we're actually in a really good position now, and could potentially, not any kind of counter-attacking nonsense, but there's still a lot of Germans here actually. You guys need to pull out. It's probably one order I failed to issue. There's still a lot of Germans there, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Meanwhile, it's gone a bit quiet, but that's just because we've lost the vision, because all our forward elements are kind of dead. We'll have to see what's happening with this fire mission as well. Oh, now the Germans using some more. Oh, hang on. So much me saying about being in a safe-ish position. This was, I think it was just one of our retreating sections. It's now taking a whole bunch of fire from this chap. So probably going to bring up one of the new Brens we've got, and they're just going to sit and saturate that house. I suspect will have to be what's required. We're just getting some more eyeballs over there. That's fine. How is your ammo? You are out. It's not a problem. You do have some ammo. Well, why don't you see if you can get yourself here and just do exactly the same thing. Ah, yeah, I moved this mortar team over as well because I thought that would be useful for them to just, again, drop mortar bombs on these guys. Okay, these guys are coming along. I want to be careful with how far they advance, so maybe I'll hold them there until these Brens catch up. Get these on a bit of a quick one. Yeah, this position's okay, it's just once you get over this rise, essentially. And from here, if you wouldn't mind putting some suppressive fire. Okay. We may have to wiggle this a little bit. So we need to go forward to here, and then maybe back there. That should be you in position. So what I don't want is them being able to fire at our backs, essentially. You guys are just panicking and slowly dying, unfortunately. And I'm waiting to see what happens with this tank. I'm also worried this guy's going to get spotted sooner rather than later. From, well, one direction or another. Things I want to check. What is happening with your order? Well, you can't tell me because you're shaking. You guys are pretty much all dead. What have we got left? Howitzers are back up and on the go, and we have a lot of them. This intrigues me. What can you see, my good man? Probably not a lot. I'd very much like to drop a whole bunch of howitzers in this general area. What's your time delay? 14 minutes. It's just brutal. It's so brutal trying to think, okay, where are they going to be in 14 minutes? And are you going to be alive in 14 minutes? Because I'm not convinced you are. And we could just do something like that. It doesn't really matter which side of the orchard they're on. Alright, we're going to do it. Just... medium, it's too long. It's confirmed. Not ideal, but we need to just keep calling this stuff down. Let's cause them problems. If it comes to it, we can pull ourselves away. Let's clear your target. Let's have... uh-oh. Okay. You're alive. You just ran away. Let's have you get out of dodge. Please. Good. I'd like to try and go collect this pea at some point, but that may not be an option. I'm going to get to go here and I'm going to hide for just now. It might be worth actually moving these guys over. Something like that, see if they can't use the Bren to just inflict some casualties. Sorry, monitor was on Fritz there, let's quickly fix it. Okay, oh, you don't need to have target order anymore. Although, I know why I did it, because you're just rifles. You shouldn't though, it's a brain gun. Okay. This looks like our priest. That's pretty good actually. That might get some work done. Let's maybe start over here then. We'll run through... Are we looking... we might one or two more minutes before we have to call it a day. I mean, that's nice. You kind of missed some of the important stuff. Oh, I mean, these guys are just getting chewed to pieces. Yeah, I need to get some fire on that hoose. It's pretty satisfying. Not quite sure it's getting the work done for us. Oh, here comes one of their panzers. Wonder if he's going to come right out into the road, which might give us an opportunity to inflict some pain upon him. Oh, that's lovely. It's no longer in the right place, but it's still nice to see. That's not so much though. To be honest, that could be our own 4-inch mortars just firing wildly off target. Okay, just... well, we were done anyway. Are you just about there? Getting there. What are they gonna do with this tank? What's your sightline like? Let's go command phase. No, don't run anywhere, thank you. Yeah, as soon as he pokes his nose out, you can have yourselves a pop. But let's be pretty explicit about this. You guys are trying to pop that thing there. No big column of black smoke that would indicate we've hit a panzer. You guys have made out there, although you're not very happy about life. You guys are there, but can't see anything. Fine, I suppose. I'm gonna put you guys pushing up, but I'm gonna have to hold you there for another minute until you get into position to take out this machine gunner. Not you. You. Otherwise, we're gonna have to move through the field around along the road. I mean, if he gets his panzer sitting here, well, he now owns this road. Okay, let's go one more minute, and then we'll call this episode to a close. Really interested to see what happens with this chap. It's nice. Just wish we'd... well, though we didn't really think we were going to lose this part of the map so soon. Looks like he's just sitting there with his panzer. However, that's it. Hey, good, excellent. Haven't even told it to direct fire and he's getting a job done. That's really nice to see. That's going to help provide some cover for our troops. Yeah, could be our own artillery, to be perfectly honest. Oh, and that fortunate to get a mortar team. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. So we're sending troops down the road. And we do have a Bren here situated just for this exact scenario. Oh, that's a lot of Germans. Come on. Why are we not hitting them? There we go. Wow, that's a lot of Germans pushing through here. We did finally get 3 of them in the end, but I mean, this guy does, yeah, has a Bren. That's a pretty perfect, please shoot us all now kind of lineup. And he'll get, oh, he's not quite getting involved actually. I might scooch him up to get involved. And you're just trying not to be discovered. I think we'll turn these guys around. I think they'll break in the run. I think he'll get enough of a job done. So I'm happy enough with that. Okay, yeah, that's going to have to be the end of the video there. I think we're not in the worst situation in the world. It's not great. We've knocked out a tank. It's a start. We are continuing to kind of inflict infantry casualties, so at some point they're just going to run out of dudes, even if they have 3 tanks in the go. And as long as we keep some of our Piats alive, they're not just going to be pushed down with tanks alone, he says. So all is not lost, but let's be honest, we've taken an absolute battering in this mission. I'm thankful this is our last scenario with our Gallant 7-handers, because there would not be much left with to carry on a campaign afterwards. But anyway, that'll have to wait till next time. I do hope you have enjoyed watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.